Good morning, YouTube. Jeremy Wright here. Today's, Wednesday, September 5, 2023. And I'm sharing a story specifically, even though I just recently loaded a tank talk on the Cichlid tank, 29-gallon, natural, heavily planted tank. Sorry, leaning back, taking a seat on the ground. So, yesterday, I replaced the hang-on back filter in this tank with one that I had just sitting in one of my bins. So I think this is an Aquarium Masters brand. It was rated for a 55-gallon. Should have been my first clue that that was not the correct filter to use. I ended up having to turn the flow way down. But in doing so, first off, let's back up. The hang-on back that was in it failed. So I tried to, jump start it, get it going again. The motor was just hot, burned up, fine. That happens. So I pulled out the old filter, had to remove the shelf up here with my fishy stuff, and lift that up, get the old filter out, put the new one in, prime it, get it going. Sponge filter is on. Let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but through there we can see that there's a pre-filter sponge on the intake. But yeah, zooming a bit. So why am I talking about this? The Convict Cichlids in here. Let's see. There's one up here without a mate, hiding because she gets bullied by the two who live down in this corner and chased away from their fry, as well as the two who live back in the far corner. You see where that one is? That's the other home. So when I swapped filters, got kind of cloudy. The pre-filter sponge was dirty. I leave them dirty, and basically until they won't flow any longer, and then clean them a little bit, and then stick them back in, because all that mulm, that is your beneficial bacteria. It's not just where they are, it is them. It is lots of species of them. I don't get rid of that stuff. I don't ever do gravel vacs or pull that stuff out. I leave bits of algae growing on stuff like the heater in the back. Let's look at that. I'm not going to scrape that stuff off, but there are fry in here. I thought I had put too much filter on this tank and had sucked up 2 batches of Convict Cichlid fry. I was really upset with myself yesterday evening, literally just praying, asking for forgiveness. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hurt these little baby fish. They sucked up into the filter or got squished up into the pre-filter sponge, and it's my fault. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Then I stepped on some ants and was just, I was upset. I'm like, I'm killing little critters and I don't want to, and I was bummed about it. So this morning when the lights came on, it's only like 8:30 a.m. right now. When the lights came on, I was over here looking for fry and I didn't see any. The second time I came over here, I peeked down in this area and I actually saw a few. I don't know that we're going to, but yeah, I don't see any over there. So looking to the other side of the tank where I saw some. Sorry for that warp speed stuff. Down in here, I was able to see some. They're itty bitty. They're week-old Convict Fry. Oh, the adults are chasing each other around now. That's pretty entertaining. I actually tried to catch, so there are 5 adult convicts in here right now. Previously, there were quite a few more. I've given a number to my friends. I took one back, rehomed one that was not in a mated pair, was getting chased around in a friend's tank. And yeah, it's just, convicts are a lot of fun, but they're very territorial. Sorry for that. Going back to what we had. So convicts are very territorial. See, this one's got nice dark stripes. That's a happy fish. If you see a convict cichlid that's got pale stripes, it's probably stressed. it's in panic mode. So if I can find the non-mated fish, she's hiding in the back right now. Oh, she just got chased around. You may have seen that. It may have just been a blur. But essentially, I came in here, changed the filter and the hang-on back, knocked some rocks down, knocked that driftwood down. Everything was chaotic. The tank became cloudy. I was kind of unhappy with myself for what had happened, and I'm just really thankful that I still have baby convicts in here today, this morning. Really grateful for that. Gratefulness seems to be a precursor for happiness, and there are some babies. You can look through here. This is the brood on the right. They're probably a week older than the brood on the left. So they're a little bit larger, easier to see. I'm just thrilled that they're still there. Gosh, every time I zoom out too much, we get that lighting issue. The ones over here, much harder to see, especially when my hand reflection is in the way. But let's see if we can actually find... Oh yeah, there's little ones. They're hard to see, but they're in there. Look to the dark area, center screen, and you'll see some kind of drifting around. Convict cichlids are excellent parents. They're very protective to the point that they will actually destroy other adult fish that get near their brood. And it doesn't matter if they're other convicts or what, they just do that. Sorry, every time I zoom out, I go a little too far and changes the lighting. But this tank is just jamming along. So I did a partial water change, the first partial water change that's been done in a few months. And let's see, I'll give you a listing of what the water parameters were. So it started at 82 degrees, about a total dissolved solids of about 186 parts per million. The pH was 6.99. GH was rather high. That's why I did the water change. GH was really above my scale, but I'm estimating it at around 400 ppm. KH was pretty high too, at about 300 ppm. Nitrates were between 10 and 15 parts per million. Nitrite was non-registered. Phosphates, very low, but I didn't get a ppm reading. They're just very low, hardly registered. Chlorine was nil. So overall, pretty good. I adjusted the heater, and let's see if we can get a reading on this. Pretty hard to see, but I think it's still like the 81, 82, and 80 are lit just a little bit. Hard to see in this lighting, so I'm going to say it's 81 degrees in there right now. That's still perfect. It was, what did I say, 82, 83, 82. I just gave it a little bump. This tank is inside of an armoire, which stays closed. So it's very insular. That's my little fill thing I was using to pre-fill the hang-on back, just scooping water out of the tank and then moving it around. This is one of my most used aquarium tools. It's just a little tiny measuring cup. Just, maybe 3 ounces, 4 ounces, I don't know, just a guess. Fluid ounces, I would say. So anyway, this tank is okay. And I was fearful that it was not. But in working with it last night, I just realized I love this little aquarium. It's one of my favorites. They're all one of my favorites, but this one actually is one of my favorites. Little snails, little cool stuff. 2 really nice Nymphaeostolata lotus bulbs. Lots of Siswasertang in the bottom. Sorry, that's not a Java fern. Those guys up there are Java fern. There's Java fern back in here. This thing down here is a sword. It's just a very young sword. And, I actually gave it some root tabs. There's Pogostemon stellatus, octopus variety. There is, let's see, what is this? Lysimachia numeralis, also known as creeping jenny in a few places. It does very well underwater. This stuff's only been down here in this tank for a couple of months. Previously, there was a lot of shade from floating plants. I cleared a lot of the stuff in the top of the tank. Not all of it, just a lot of it. And yeah, some hours later, the tank's clear. So, from that, thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy Wright. This is another episode of Tank Talks.